I was in excruciating pain for 11 days. It's just like curled up in a fetal position.
Any night, any day, let me take you away. All I need is just saying yeah, 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 yeah. Better nights, better days. When you're here with me.
What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Renee. Today I am going to show you, first of all, hit subscribe if you have not subscribed yet. Today I am going to talk about something that has nothing to do with business. It's just a story, and it's something that I experienced, so I wanted to share that. I actually made this video before and I took it down because I didn't necessarily like the way it was done. What is trigeminal neuralgia? Trigeminal neuralgia, which is also referred as TN, is a chronic pain disorder. Type of chronic pain disorder that involves sudden, severe facial pain. It affects the trigeminal nerve, or the fifth cranial nerve, which provides feeling and nerve signaling to many parts of the head and face. So I'm going to include some illustrations. Was diagnosed with trigeminal neuralgia back in 2019, which is right before everything happened where we had to stay home and we didn't know what was going to happen. Now, right before that, I was extremely sick and I had went to the hospital because I was just like, this isn't a regular cold. I believe that is what caused me to ultimately caused me to have trigeminal neuralgia. Trigeminal neuralgia is actually linked to something that we can't say here on YouTube, but to the whole situation that caused us to stay home in 2020. So I think that I had that before I even before 2020, because I was extremely sick. And I was driving for Uber at the time, so I could have easily, caught a cold. Trigeminal neuralgia isn't something that you catch, but I'm just saying what was leading up to it. So I remember being at home and I was on the ground. I was telling my daughter, like, this is not normal. This isn't something that, like, I think something's really wrong. It was like a very, 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 very harsh cold. So, okay, then I went to the doctor, I went to the hospital, and I was, they told me I had a virus and to just go home and it will work itself out and I'll be all right, basically. So I was like, all right, I guess I'm all right. So I ended up getting better, and then about maybe a month later, what do you think? About 2 months later, I ended up with this really bad pain. I was actually at I was doing business with my models. They were being interviewed, and I got this sudden pain in my face, which it was back here, and I thought it was my tooth. And I go to the dentist all the time, so it felt like an abscess out of nowhere. So there's no way that I should have been in that much pain when I regularly see a dentist. But I was in a lot of pain. At the time, I didn't even know anything about trigeminal neuralgia. I went to so I had the girls dropped off. I went home and I was in so much pain. So that night I ended up going to the hospital. I went to the emergency room because I couldn't sleep and the pain was ridiculous. Now, I've had 4 C-sections. I usually have a high tolerance for pain. Like I said, I've been seeing the dentist, so there's no reason that my mouth should have been in that much pain. So fast forward, I go to the emergency room and they tell me that basically they give me some pain medicine, and I'm like, I'm going to my dentist in the morning. So I go to my dentist in the morning, and they get me in right away. I'm like, it's an emergency, I'm in a lot of pain, and they leave and come back. I should have knew when people kept asking me which tooth it was, and I couldn't figure out. I couldn't figure it out. I was just like, it hurts right here. Like, I couldn't say for sure what tooth it was. And so my dentist I had been seeing him for a very long time. He came in and he told me that it wasn't dental related. And I was highly upset, and I felt like he wasn't doing his job, because I'm like, it's clearly dental related. Like, do better. Had been in so much pain all night that I was just like, what do you mean it's not dental related? I thought that once I got to my dentist, I would be out of pain and I would be good. So I ended up leaving because he wasn't going to help me. So I went home, and I don't know if he necessarily gave me any medicine there. I don't think he did. So I went home and I was frustrated. I kind of had an adrenaline rush because I was upset that he told me that he couldn't help me. And then I ended up going to a different emergency room. And when I went to that emergency room, they told me that I had trigeminal neuralgia. I let them know that my dentist told me it was, I need sugar on it. I told them that my dentist told me that it was not related to, it wasn't dental related. So I ended up, they told me I had trigeminal neuralgia, and they put me on some medication that was for seizures. And I had never heard anything about trigeminal neuralgia. And I was just like, okay, well, at least this medicine will help me. I'm going to be okay. So I went ahead and went home, and the pain got worse. The medicine didn't help. When I was at the hospital, though, they did give me a bunch of shots in the back of my mouth. There was this whole cocktail that they gave me, which they must do to treat trigeminal neuralgia patients. Like, I was in excruciating pain for 11 days. Okay. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't even sleep. You know, you just like wake up and you're still in pain. If you have a chance to get an hour's sleep and you're still in pain. So I went home, and the pain got worse. So this is a trigeminal nerve. It shoots in 3. 1, 2, 3. Try. So the pain got worse because it was just here. So now it's shooting into here, and I could barely hold my eyes open, and I'm in so much pain. And it slowly started to shoot up here. So I have pain on my entire side of my face. I can't change a diaper. I can't do anything. I would be so exhausted just from being in pain nonstop. Not a light pain. This is pain that most people, 50%, you would actually have to Google this because there's certain things I can't say on YouTube. But 50% of people that get this cannot take it, so they leave. Okay? That's a good way to put it. Also known as the leave disease, because 50% of people that, because I can't say certain things on YouTube, but it's also known because 50% of people that get it can't take the pain, so they are out. Okay? So this isn't anything you ever felt. If you had an abscess, it's like an abscess by 10 times. Okay? It's crazy. And so during this time, I was trying everything. People were giving me different stuff like CBD. I was just like curled up in a fetal position 90% of the time. Every now and then the edge was taken off so I could like run and take a shower because I knew that pain was coming back. I was in deep prayer. I was taking different herbs. I was trying just a bunch of different stuff that if you told me like, you have to eat these roaches and this will help, I would have ate them. I was very desperate. Okay, I was very desperate. I was in so much pain that I was just exhausted, and I was tired of being in pain, and I understood exactly why most people can't take it and they don't make it. I thought about what am I going to do with my children because I can't care for them. I couldn't do anything. When I say I couldn't do anything, I couldn't do anything but sit there and rock in pain. So people would come over and they would try to give me different stuff. And then at the time, I was actually in a different relationship, but my ex-husband, he came over and he was trying so many different things. He was giving me a bunch of stuff. And finally, he found this video on YouTube, and I will actually leave the link below. But this is just a disclaimer. This just worked for me. I'm not a medical professional. I'm not suggesting to anyone to do anything. I just don't want to take credit for what this man did for me, because he seriously saved my life. Okay. So yeah, I did this, and I finally got relief to the point that I could think straight. The pain wasn't completely gone, but it was gone enough to where I could stand up straight and function. And I just kept doing this, and it really did save my life. Now, the second time that I got it, which it actually never leaves. So once you have it, you just have it. So like right now, I'm in a good position where if I hit the car, if I'm driving, I hit a bump, I can feel the pain shoot. If I cry, unfortunately, my whole face is on fire because I now have it on both sides of my face. So I try not to cry or get angry, and I try to make sure I really control my emotions, because a lot of people that know me just know that I don't cry. But also because like me crying makes it hurt. So no, I'm very, very picky about who's in my energy, in my vicinity. I don't deal with a lot of people, and I love it that way. But it did teach me a lot of things, and it really humbled me in a lot of ways, and made me be really grateful for a lot of things. But okay, so the second time that I got I was diagnosed with one side, and then I ended up getting it on the other side. I went and I had some dental work done. I don't know if I already had braces at this time or not, but I went and got some dental work done, and they put on this porcelain crown, and it was really, really beautiful. It was in the back, and I left, and I was in pain when I left, obviously, but I thought it would subside. And as time went on, it just kept getting worse and worse. And so I was like, hey, I need to have it adjusted because it hurts. And so I go in, they do an x-ray. They say everything looks completely fine. We don't know why it hurts. So I said, okay, maybe it just needs to, maybe it's going to fix itself. Now, this is on the other side of my mouth. So I wasn't even thinking about trigeminal neuralgia. The thought did cross my mind for a moment, but I'm like, no, this is the side that I have it on. I should be okay over here. Nope. So I go back in a second time. Now I'm in excruciating pain, and I'm like, get this crown out of my mouth. I can't keep it in here. They do an x-ray. Once again, he says the same thing. Like, it looks like it's placed fine, but if you want it out, we can get it out. So at this time, I tell him I have trigeminal neuralgia. And I said, this is probably what it is now it's on this side, because if you're looking through your x-rays and everything looks fine, it's irritating my nerves somewhere, that trigeminal nerve somewhere, and this has to be what's going on. So he gives me some shots in the back of my mouth, just pain shots at a dentist, so we're waiting for the medicine to kick in. So after the first shot, I can still feel the pain full-fledged. So he gives me a second shot, and it's like water, okay? I kind of feel a little numb back there, but nowhere, the pain is still there. So after the third shot, I'm like, listen, just take it out. And he's like, but you can feel everything right now, right? And I'm like, yes, I can feel everything, but get it out my mouth. So he kind of reluctantly does it, but he does. He goes ahead and he removes the crown, the whole entire, tooth. He removes everything. And during this time, I can feel everything, like I don't even have any medicine. So I'm just holding on tight, and I'm bawling. Like there's just tears pouring down on the bed because he's in there and he's, taking it out. And it feels like I don't have anything in my mouth, any medication. So he finally gets it out, and my body was just in shock. So I just shook for like 5 minutes. I just was laying there shaking uncontrollably, like bawling, okay? But even though I was in that much pain, the pain here was finally leaving. Like, yeah, it still hurt from being pulled, but not like trigeminal neuralgia. Trigeminal neuralgia is a beast, okay? And it's something that I don't know why I don't know why. But everything happens for us, not to us. So I felt like it was really important for me to make this video because I wanted to raise awareness of trigeminal neuralgia, but I also wanted to reach out to people that may not know about, you know, what I did, and maybe it can help someone, or maybe it could comfort someone, or there's so many different things. I used to look up trigeminal neuralgia when I first got it because I was like, what? Like, I never heard anything about this in my life. I had never heard anything about it. I never knew anyone that had it. And I just didn't believe that this is the symptom. This is what it is. It's just a whole bunch of pain, and I just have to deal with it and take this seizure medicine that was just making me dizzy. And I understand that it was supposed to help me, and maybe it would have helped me months later. But in the moment, no, it was just literally making me dizzy and did nothing at all for the pain. It's a very lonely place to be when you're diagnosed with trigeminal neuralgia. And so I just wanted to make sure that I did make this video, and hopefully I can help someone that has it, or even just raise awareness to people. They wanted me to go see a neurologist. I went to see a neurologist, and there's a bunch of different stuff they wanted to test me for, and one of them being MS, and just to like rule out different things. And I was not comfortable with getting a brain scan. But this is all after the fact. Like, I never heard anything about this before. So yeah, now I'm pretty good for the most part. I do these treatments here and there, that I was referring to. But besides that, you know, with like the capsaicin, but besides that, as long as I don't cry, I'm good. And it's crazy to be like, I got diagnosed with a pain disorder that almost took me out, and now I can't cry. Like here, I'm going to give you a really hard life, but you can't cry, you know? So it's ironic. It really is. And, I'm grateful that, I don't have to deal with it as much as I did when I initially had it, because that 10 days was horrible. I didn't want to be here. But I can't imagine people or dealing with it any more than I have to. A lot of times I'll be in pain, like my face will be in pain, or if it's just too cold in a room, I'll feel it. Just different things trigger it. But a lot of times I don't even say anything. A lot of times no one around me even knows that that's what I'm experiencing, because I'm so grateful that I'm not experiencing the excruciating, debilitating pain that I initially had when I was first diagnosed. So a lot of times I don't complain about it or even really talk about it. You kind of got to be close to me for you to know if I am experiencing something like that. That's my story. Thanks so much for watching. I hope that this just brought awareness or can help somebody out there that is dealing with it. And I will leave the link below of what I did. And like I said, I hope everything works for you. During that time that I was dealing with this, I was just like, I was in so much pain that it was just unbearable. Like, I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. I never felt anything like that in my life. And I hope that you don't have to, but I also hope that people that are experiencing this get some type of relief and at least get to the place that I'm at, where it comes and goes and it's not constant. Now, I do get like bolts of electricity through my face, you know, if pain like, you know, shoots, but compared to where I was at for those 11 days, I will take that any day, you know, because I didn't know if I would ever come out of that. Thanks so much for watching. Hit that subscribe button. I'll continue to upload videos and just about different stuff, because I'm just sharing my life. But I do want to upload a video on how to write a book, because I did write and publish my own book, but that will be coming up in the next week. All right, thanks so much for watching.
Any night, any day, let me take you away. All I need is just saying yeah, 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 yeah. Better nights, better days.